Hi guys, welcome back. This is the next video for our Jaguar XKR Racing car. Firstly, I'd like to apologise. It's been a little while since our last video. That's been due to two reasons. The first one is that we're just really busy at work. Trying to find time for our own stuff is very difficult at the moment. Naturally, we deal with cars pretty much like mine all day, every day, and they don't go to plan always. Naturally, we have to make stuff or you know, work late to try and finish it off. So it often doesn't, my job doesn't lend itself, frankly, to be doing what we're doing with my car. In some manners it does, because we've got lots of stuff and equipment and bits and pieces to do it. And the other way is that, like I say, we're naturally dealing with people's painters in the arse, like most of the time. So it's just time one. The second is that this video may seem like it jumps about a little bit, and that is because I bought myself a camera so that we can do some YouTube stuff on it, so I haven't got to use my mobile telephone, which is what I've been using up to now. So we've done lots of that and a few bits on my phone. So I consequently managed to lose the other camera. So I've been holding off in the hope that it would turn up, but it hasn't. So I'm putting that down to being lost forever. So my apologies. This video is going to feel like it's skipping around a bit somewhat. So yeah, whatever. So let's go first to like, we're scrolling back a couple of months before we did our first test day race. So we're going to get our windscreen fitted. We had a heated windscreen fitted, so we're going to go to that, and then we're going to go to lots of bits and pieces about when we were making carbon fibre panels. Now, as I say, bear in mind that there's lots of bits missing, so you'll see us 1 minute making a bonnet, next minute making a bumper bar. Just ignore it and roll with it. Hopefully, in the future, we're going to change that and make a bit more of an effort to do some proper, you know, like YouTube stuff. I know a lot of the feedback that I get personally is that people quite want us to, you know, we're just like throwing a gearbox in, so there we go, we've manual converted it, but people want to know like some details of it, because they can always skip through it or skip past it if it's uninteresting to them. But sometimes apparently me and Spike just sort of, we've done something, and so yeah, I get that. Having watched back, I do understand what you mean. So we're going to try and rectify that in the future, but not for this one. so yeah, let's go and watch the windscreen get fitted. One of the issues I had last year, one of many, obviously, the main issue is the sack of meat behind the steering wheel, but one of them was at Donington. It rained, and it was awful in the car, all steamed up. So we decided that I really wanted a heated windscreen. So the boys at Auto Reserve came up trumps, phoned me up and said, we've got a car come in with a heated windscreen, it looks absolutely fine, would you like it? So legends that they are, they phoned me up and said, it's yours, mate, we'll bring it down to Thruxton. So I went up to Thruxton and met them, and came back with heated windscreen. So I've got my boy Kevin out, what a legend he is, fitting it. Pro job, isn't it? So we're prepping a mould for a bumper. We've never made a bumper before. Well, we've never made fuck all before in carbon fibre, so we're a bit worried about these returns. But we've made like a you know, wooden frame that holds us in. It all screws in, that we can get to after we've made the mould. So we're hoping that it's going to keep it really solid. I've measured the distances between them and screwed it all on. So hopefully this will be good. But like I say, we're a bit worried about these returns, whether there's going to be enough flex to release it. But I don't know. I can't find anything which is going to tell us. So the easiest way to do it is just have a go, and worst case scenario, we'll be making another one tomorrow. What do you reckon, Uncle Spike? What's your thoughts on it?
I'm glad it's your money.
Glad it's my money. But in other news, Uncle Spike's got new brand spanking new. No, some Love Football shirts.
Yeah. For this year's best, Mike's wedding is coming up.
Mike's wedding is coming up. Yes, we should most certainly. Well, if that's providing we can't get our suits.
That's true.
So yeah, we're just going around waxing all the joints, and then we'll be painting some release agent of some description on it. But yeah,
So hopefully in a minute you'll see us painting some shiz on it. Having fun, mate? My first attempt at a mould. We're going to try and infuse this. This I made last weekend. It's just a copy basically of the original bonnet. I'm going to paint this white anyway, so I'm not overly concerned about how the finish looks, but I'm going to try just because it's my first attempt, so it'd be nice to see how it looks at the end of the day. Hopefully it'll be alright, and then, you know, might be able to make a really nice one in the future. So yeah, it's a bit of a see what happens. So we're halfway through now. I've put a layer of carbon and I've gone some carbon tape around the outside. We've got 5 layers of strip down there, and then some of this in Soric. This is 5 layers thick, so hopefully I've got a bit of a bit of strength for the clips that I want to run down through. I have to say though, my hands are way too thick. They've got bits of dry skin that stick out, and it catches the stuff. So I know I'm not going to be very happy. I mean, obviously we've got to back it down and see what it looks like, but I'm fairly confident it's going to look horrible. I keep catching it with my hands. Try with gloves, same shit. So I think this is the sort of job that you need to have like very soft skin. So like an electrician or a plumber, maybe even a scaffolder, Ben, that sort of piece, but that sort of person, you know. But yeah, it'll be lightweight either way, so hopefully it won't be too hideous. There we go. We've started the pumps up, got the infusion going, so hopefully 40 minutes of this or so, and we should have a fiberglass or a composite bonnet made out of look at that does look cool. Okay, so I've made me mould. I won't go into too much detail with all this because quite frankly there's enough videos on the internet, on YouTube, on how to do all of these things. We're going to be infusing this. As I say, this is the mould. I'm just laying in the carbon into this. Once I've laid a couple of layers of carbon, we'll then infuse it, which I'll video very shortly. So we've got this isoric stuff in here, they call this, and then we're just sort of going around the edges with layers of carbon to build that up, and then we'll put another layer in. Libby's sitting there excited there.
I wish I was sitting.
Okay, so we're part of the way through the infusion process now. So all I've done is bagged this up, some sticky tape along the top, bagged it up, left some little bits so they can pull it through, pushed it all in. We put a little vacuum pump on. We've got a little collection pot there, and just vac it through. And if you see here, this is the actual resin being pulled through via vacuum from there in through there. So quite simple really. Hopefully this will be done in sort of 10-15 minutes, and I can just leave it to go off for a few hours, and then hopefully I'll have a wing. So that's now completely infused. I'm going to clamp off the feed and the vacuum line. It's just still sucking a few bits and pieces out. So then we're just going to, like I say, we'll clamp them off, cut the lines, and oh, my vacuum pump sounds amazing. And then we'll just leave that to cure for a few hours, basically. Hopefully we'll have a nice carbon wing. Okay, so it's now been 24 hours. So now all I have to do is pull all of this shit off, and hopefully just prise the wing out with some plastic tools, and we should have a nice composite wing. Let's see what happens. So this is the last one. Then we can start bolting them onto the car. Libby's really excited. She really likes carbon fibre now, don't you?
I'm wearing a jumper in the middle of summer. This stuff is giving me a rash. It's not fun.
Might be me giving you a rash.
Yeah.
So yeah, finish up this wing, and then we've already done the bonnet, the other wing, and the bumper. Then we can start bolting them on the old go and see how that goes. Cutting up carbon. I think I might have to buy a mask. Okay, so we've finished laying up the last wing. I'm hoping it's the last wing. I keep moulding them and I'm just not happy with them, so I keep scrapping them and going again. But hopefully this is the last one. We laid it all up, wet laid this wing to try that. The last one we infused, and it was okay, but it's just got some bits in it I'm not very happy with. So this one we tried to wet lay. So we've wet laid it. It's 9:30. It's just turning dark. I was going to just back it up and leave it overnight, and hopefully come back to a nice part in the morning. And my shocker on my £85 eBay vacuum pump has let go. So I've gone full fudge here. Absolutely full fudge. The S-Max, the family S-Max, is the old T5 engine is supplying the vacuum for the wing. So I'm just gonna have to leave this running for a few hours. I've got no other option at this point other than just scrap it. But so I'm gonna just sit out here till, I'm guessing, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Find some bits to do whilst this is running. And Sarah looks in the morning. What am I doing? Yeah, so living a dream. I plan on bolting the rest of the stuff onto the car tomorrow, so we'll just see how that goes. Winning. Yeah, the boys are down there getting the bumper to fit. We had to trim shitloads out of that, and I'm putting the catches on the new bonnet. So one of the things I did last year was buy some cheap shit eBay catches. Oh, they're just utter crap. I couldn't tell you to not do that enough. So I've gone for the proper aero catches this time. They are so much better. They just work, whereas the old ones were just crap. So these just work proper, done. So we're happy. I've had to put some more mounts on for this to the front, which I'm going to trim back. But yeah, overall not doing too bad. Boys are happy as hell. Okay, right you are. I have not videoed a lot of this going back together, being honest, purely because it's just drilling holes. If you want to see a video on drilling holes, I guess there's plenty there, but essentially it's carbon front ends on. So I'll talk about the carbon in a minute, but I'll be brutally honest. I probably wouldn't do this again, given similar circumstance. It's a pain in the ass. It's itchy. It's horrible. It's a little bit uncertain. You mould something, takes 24 hours to go. I've made umpteen moulds. I've made umpteen panels from those moulds, and each one was getting slowly better and better. I'm no expert, quite obviously, and I don't think that I can just take over do someone's job that's been learning for years and years, or a lifetime, some people. But I was kind of hoping that we'd have been a bit quicker. But I reckon I've made 3 or 4 of each panels before I got to the point where I'm happy with how it is. But to put you in the picture, the bonnet that's undressed, so none of the catches and none of the vents, but the rear strengthening on the back of the bonnet is just a shade under 3 kilograms. So it's hard to ignore carbon as a material, being honest. But I do now have a set of moulds, so I have to say I'm half tempted to try the next one I do, maybe like one of the Kevlars with the blue or red in with the Kevlar. So maybe that would suit the car a little bit better. But either way, it's literally straight out of moulds and cut. I do plan on giving this like a UV lacquer or something, but we're running out of time. Brands is next weekend, so I figure we need to go and get this tested. So let's go testing. so we're testing the car at Combe. Everything seems to be working with the exception of I'm noticing almost immediately that we've got sporadic oil pressure. The moment the car's moving in any direction, forward, backwards, stop, left, right, oil pressure's dropping on and off. So I'm going out, doing a lap, coming back in, trying something. We were swapping feed pipes around to the cooler and such. Tried putting a bit more oil in. It was getting a bit frustrating, to be fair. So in the end, I decided that it must be the sensor playing me up. I couldn't put it down to anything else. We changed nothing. So yeah. Yeah, so it wasn't the sensor. Catastrophic engine failure, a couple of rods out the side of the block, big boom. So yes, we've got like 3 nights now before 3 nights that I can spare before we have to leave for the classic touring car racing club there, Super Touring Power, which is at Brands, which I really wanted to go to. So again, I've done 4 laps briefly in the car as its present setup. So somehow there's no footage of us changing the engine because me and my brother and Mike were just essentially just absolutely working our little knickers off every evening after work to try and get this done. Somehow we managed to get it in the trailer ready to go Brands hatch. So yeah, somehow untested again. Okay, so we've arrived at Brands Hatch for some testing, as you do, at the Touring Car Festival. So it's going to be a bit mental. Car's obviously not done any laps, really. Done 3 laps at Combe in it. And we had oil pressure issues, so that was abandoned. So yeah, we're going to be going out at Brands, a place where I've done 6 laps before in my whole life. In a car that I've done 2 slow laps at Combe in. Untested. Same old. I'm getting good at this sort of stuff. Lastminute.com, so I'm properly excited about this touring car festival anyway. It's going to be epic. There's super tourers going around practicing a minute ago. They sound just absolutely amazing. So just waiting for Swallows to turn up in their lorry, and then we can start unloading properly.
So there we go. That's a quick lap well, not a quick lap, a lap of the GP in Cinderella. On the first day we did the GP, second day we were doing the Indy. The first day my braking was awful, as having to pump the pedal all the way down once and then back up and to go again. I'm not good enough, frankly, to have dealt with that in a sensible manner. I just being very careful. A lot of people were saying, oh yeah, that's just pad knock off, but it just felt very alien to me, like no pedal at all and then back up, and it was like, you know, there. So the day one at the GP, that's what I was dealing with, but you know, it is what it is. I was very slow, but I probably enjoyed it. Really exciting. The next day, the Indy, we kind of resolved the brakes actually, but I was having some massive confidence issues. I don't want to lie. I was not feeling it. I was very, you know, I was just really slow, braking way too early. But again, I got behind Tim. Tim, you know, it's just really nice to just get behind someone who knows what they're doing. Just watching him, he was defending something I'd never even considered really. I've never been at a point to have to defend anyone. So, yeah, it was really exciting. I just really enjoyed watching him. So yeah, I enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed myself. So we got to do some more bits to the car. So we're going to do some more bits to the car, yes, before we go out again. Hopefully the next video I'm going to try and cover that a bit nicer. Like I said earlier on the video, we'll try and sort of break things down a bit, because things seem to happen too quick when I watch back on these videos. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. So we're gonna we've got a few bits to mend after the last race at the Indy. We came into paddock, came into the first line, and I got clipped on the front wheel initially, so that the steering wheel was over one side and it was shuddering, and so I stopped. I had to come straight off. I came off into the pits. At the time I thought we'd damaged something quite seriously, and it turns out they'd, as they'd come past, they tweaked my nipple. They tweaked the Schrader valve on the tyre, and it just dumped all its pressure. So my steering going over like that and the shuddering I thought was something fairly serious, and actually just a tyre going down. So I must admit at the time I was worried and overly concerned, so I feel a bit of cock for that, frankly, when it was just a flat tyre. But either way, I had to come off, race over. But it's damaged my wheel, where it's sort of where he's come into me, it's damaged my wheel. So in the next episode I've got to mend that. And a few other bits that I'm planning on doing with the car. A bit more carbon fibre, a bit lighter. Some other bits I want to do as well, which I've been planning on doing. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry, as I said at the beginning of the video, that, you know, I'm really sorry that this should be really like probably 2 or 3 videos if I'd had the other footage, but I haven't. So yeah, onwards and upwards, yeah. So yeah, thanks ever so much for joining us. We really appreciate the support from everyone just watching, really. I hope you're enjoying it. Us pair of idiots sort of messing around in a shed, trying to get Cinderella to do what I wanted to do, which is go faster than I can drive it. But yeah, thanks ever so much. I'll see you all again. Cheers. Drive carefully.